As a student, you have a unique vantage point. Long before parents or teachers realize something is wrong, you are usually the first to notice when a friend's behavior begins to shift. We are going to walk through a process you can use to safely assess if a friend is at risk and connect them with help without making the situation worse. Identifying a warning sign requires a baseline. This means knowing what is normal for your friend, how they usually talk, what they enjoy doing, and how they interact with you. When that baseline changes, you will rely on a clear 4-step protocol: observe, care, report, and support. Mastering these steps gives you a safe path to intervene. It ensures you get your friend the right help instead of accidentally pushing them further away. Step 1 is observe. Take a look at this comparison chart. On the left is a student's normal, cheerful baseline. On the right are new, concerning behaviors. Your goal is to compare current actions against that normal baseline. As the chart shifts to our checklist, pay attention to the first 2 major warning signs: spending excessive amounts of time in secretive online groups and suddenly pulling away from family and friends. Next, listen to how they speak. They may begin repeating hateful or threatening messages or showing an intense, rapid loyalty to strangers they have only met online. Finally, look for extreme defensiveness when you ask about their device or social media posts that suggest themes of revenge, hopelessness, or self-harm. One unusual post or a single bad mood is not enough to judge someone. It is easy to misread an isolated incident. Effective observation requires identifying a sustained pattern. When multiple warning signs appear together over time, you have the evidence needed to justify an intervention. Step 2 is care. Approach your friend privately and start a calm conversation. A simple, "You seem different lately. Is everything okay?" is a good place to start. Your objective here is to listen. Do not argue with their views, blame them for being distant, or fix the problem immediately. There are strict boundaries you must follow. As this illustration shows, never demand to see their phone or try to take it from them. You must also resist the urge to play detective. Do not attempt to join the secretive online group to investigate what they are looking at. Finally, keep the situation private. Taking screenshots of their messages or gossiping with other classmates will only make things worse. Violating these rules transforms you from a supportive peer into an antagonist. It destroys trust and shuts down your ability to help. If your check-in suggests a problem you cannot handle alone, move to step 3, report. This diagram maps out your trusted adult network. You have 5 direct lines of escalation: a parent, teacher, counselor, administrator, or school safety officer. When reporting, share the specific behavioral changes observed and any direct communications your friend shared. If your friend makes an immediate threat of violence or harm, bypass the check-in entirely. Report it to one of these adults immediately. This leads to the final step: support. Once you have made the report, your role as an investigator is over. You return to being a supportive friend. Completing this handoff releases you from the burden of solving a complex crisis alone. You have done your part by connecting them to the right people. By identifying the warning signs and bringing in a trusted adult, you have successfully protected your friend from harm. Remember the protocol: observe the baseline, approach with care, report to the network, and support the handoff. It is normal to feel hesitant about speaking up. Many students worry that telling an adult feels like a betrayal of trust, but reporting a serious concern is an act of care. It is the most responsible way to be a friend. Digital safety depends on the courage to notice a warning sign and connect a vulnerable peer with the professional help they need.